The number of days of payables is a financial ratio that provides insight into how efficiently a company manages its accounts payable. It measures the average number of days it takes for a company to pay its suppliers after receiving an invoice. This ratio is particularly useful in evaluating a company's liquidity and operational efficiency, as it reflects how well a company is managing its short-term obligations. Unlike other ratios in the liquidity category, such as the current ratio or quick ratio, which focus on a company's ability to cover short-term liabilities with its short-term assets, the number of days of payables specifically highlights the company's payment practices and supplier relationship management. Number of days of payables. The number of days of payables is calculated by dividing the average accounts payable by the cost of goods sold and then multiplying by the number of days in the period. The average accounts payable is determined by adding the beginning and ending accounts payable balances for a period and dividing by 2. This ratio indicates how many days, on average, it takes for a company to settle its outstanding bills with suppliers. Example: imagine a company has an average accounts payable balance of $200,000 and the cost of goods sold for the year is $1 million. To find the number of days of payables, you first divide the average accounts payable by the cost of goods sold, which gives you 0.2. Next, multiply this figure by 365 days, resulting in 73 days. This means the company takes an average of 73 days to pay its suppliers. Low number of days of payables. A low number of days of payables suggests that a company pays its suppliers relatively quickly. While this can indicate strong relationships with suppliers and a good cash flow position, it may also suggest that the company is not taking full advantage of possible credit terms or is not optimizing its cash flow. A low ratio might imply that the company is missing out on potential benefits from extended payment terms. High number of days of payables. A high number of days of payables indicates that a company is taking longer to pay its suppliers. This can be beneficial for cash flow, as it allows the company to use its available funds for longer periods before settling its obligations. However, excessively high numbers could strain supplier relationships, lead to less favorable credit terms, or suggest financial distress. It's important for the company to strike a balance between maintaining good supplier relations and managing its cash flow effectively. How can companies optimize number of days of payables? Negotiate terms with suppliers. Companies can work to negotiate longer payment terms with their suppliers to improve cash flow without negatively impacting relationships. This approach can provide more time to manage cash effectively while keeping suppliers content. Efficient cash management. Implementing efficient cash management practices can help maintain a healthy balance between paying bills on time and optimizing cash reserves. This involves monitoring cash flow closely and planning payments strategically. Leverage payment discounts. If suppliers offer discounts for early payments, companies should evaluate whether taking advantage of these discounts is more beneficial than extending payment terms. This requires balancing the cost of early payment with the benefit of reduced expenses. Key takeaways. The number of days of payables is a crucial measure of how a company manages its payment obligations to suppliers. It provides insights into liquidity and operational efficiency. Indicates payment practices, shows how quickly a company settles its accounts payable, reflecting its payment practices and cash flow management. Balance is key. Both low and high ratios have their implications, and companies must find a balance that suits their financial strategy and supplier relationships. Optimization strategies. Companies can optimize the ratio by negotiating supplier terms, managing cash flow efficiently, and evaluating the benefits of early payment discounts.